They're gonna be hugging you on that.
Black man for later, yeah.
All right, if you're glad to be here tonight, say amen. Come on, Marcus. Miss Caroline, where are you? If you're happy to be in church tonight, say amen.
We're not having one.
Okay. We're going to be old-fashioned, Miss Caroline, and don't want you to
No,
play.
let her go ahead. I had it closed up, but somebody's opened it. Come ahead and play. I guess Brother Smith did that.
That's right. I'm the big cheese. What number, Margaret? 596. 596. Good to see all of you. And if you have a hymnal, if you don't, sing along anyway and make out like you know it.
Schoolhouse. Everybody that was in that, stand up. Everybody was in that. You remember how well you learned your lines? Well, you learned a lot faster than this bunch of kids. It's going to be in this program. I'm telling you. And that just to give you, especially for the children, in the Nazerene church, missionary children are called MKs for short. And you'll hear that in here. In case you don't get the gist of it, that's what we're talking about. I, again, want to thank each one of you for coming, and that bunch of folks that will be in here, that group of kids, and that's the title of our program. I hope you will enjoy them, and really, really, what we're doing this for is we want to do something for you. That's our main reason for doing this. August is always a rough time for most people. And around here and everywhere, our communities around us, thank you, Greens Chapel, for not having church tonight and coming to be with us, and all of you other people. But you have sickness, and you have sorrow, you have death, we have heat, And I think it's a time that we can loosen up and enjoy ourselves, and don't expect us to be perfect, because we won't. Our narrators or storytellers are Donna Marston, Jeff Hood, and our preacher is Brother Samuel Sawyer, is played by Donald Johnson. Enjoy our play as our cast presents Kids.
Mary's Chapel Church and the community around it was a laid-back, quiet kind of place in the year 1941. If the children in the community wanted some excitement, they created their own. Let me tell you, they learned to do that real well. They worked hard in the cotton and cornfields, they cut wood, they milked cows, and they gathered the vegetables from the gardens just so they could have something to eat. They had all kinds of chores, but when they played hard. And the pranks they could pull on people, why, they'd do so many things, it wouldn't even do to talk about it. They didn't go to school many months out of the year because they had to stay home and work. Lots of them would be 15, 16, 17 years old and still be going to Palestine, the 2-room schoolhouse, down the road from the church house.
Now, don't feel sorry for these boys and girls. They made their own fun, and they thought they had everything everybody else did. Most of them had never been many miles from their own house. They didn't know much at all about big cities. They'd never heard of many states besides Tennessee and Alabama. They'd never seen a TV. Most of them had never talked on a telephone. They didn't have electricity. They sure didn't know anything about no foreign countries.
Along about 1942, a new lady moved to the community to teach school at Palestine. Little did anybody know how much this lady was going to change the lives of a lot of people. I guess some of them would have just run away, especially the boys, if they could have figured out how bossy that new teacher was going to be. Miss Mary Battles was her name. She'd never been married, so she didn't have no kids around to fool with at home. You could just tell by looking at her that she meant business.
Well, word went out when the first day of school would be. It was too wet to work in the fields, so the boys and the girls didn't have much choice but to go to school. Most of them didn't want to go, especially the boys. But Mom and Daddy said, y'all are going to school. So they went. Here they come now, walking, of course. That was their only way to travel.
I wish we could have went fishing. I think for us to have a ball game this season. I'd rather be cutting logs and going to school.
Hey, y'all, the preacher said, Daddy said that the new teacher's name was Miss Battles.
She's an old maid, too.
It's the worstest kind of hell. That preacher ain't never been married neither, Hester.
Hey, y'all, wait for us.
Oh,
Watch this, I'll fix them. They're the biggest tattletales in the whole community.
Y'all see our new clothes?
yeah, Mama got them out of the mail order catalog.
You think they ain't even homemade?
No. You like them, Katie?
I sure do.
Y'all remember what I told y'all?
We remember.
What are y'all supposed to remember?
I know. John Henry told him if they didn't quit bragging, people was going to quit being friends with them.
That's right. That's right.
Well, what's the new teacher's name, George Albert? He's sure so good at knowing stuff.
I ain't telling you, Clara May.
I think they said her name. I think they said her name was Miss Battle Axe.
Well, that's the funniest name I've ever heard. Have you ever heard a name like that, Sally Jane?
Well, Mary Belle, everybody don't have names like Green and Pettis and Spranger. Daddy said she come all the way from Arkansas. That's it.
Well, where in the world's
Arkansas.
Well, I sure don't know, but I guess she'll be obliged to tell us, though.
Well, now we've got Miss Battleaxe for a teacher. And Brother Sawyer for a preacher. Reckon they'll get married one day?
Can't never tell. Mama told you to do that this morning.
I forgot. Just give me that string. I'll do it.
Oh, Miss Battleaxe, we're so happy. What did you say my name was, young lady? That's the nicest name we've ever heard. We've never heard Battleaxe before. Let me tell all of you. Where'd you hear that at? Henry Putman.
Oh, she didn't either, Miss Yes, sir.
Oh, how many men do you see in this room?
None.
Why did I hear the word yes, sir? You kindly got us mixed up, Miss Battles. What do you call me? Yes, ma'am, Miss Battles.
Well, Miss Battles said they'd worked through all their problems. She said she was from the state of Arkansas, and she told everybody in the same family to line up in a row together so she could get to know them faster. Well, she should have never done it that way. She'd have been a whole lot better off just to tell them to sit down.
Let's start with you first. What is your name?
My name's Oscar Springer.
Spell that last name.
Springer.
Pronounce that last name again.
Springer.
But it's spelled Springer.
Well, it may be spelled Springer, but around here I'd be the laughing stock of the whole community if I went around saying, my name's Claudie Ruth Springer.
I reckon.
I'm George Albert Springer.
And my name's Peggy Ann.
How many more brothers and sisters do you have, Peggy Ann?
3 at home.
We hope we don't have any more. 7's Queenie.
What's your name, young lady?
My name's Sally Jane Putman.
How many more in your family?
We don't have no more. I've heard Mama say lots of times that we got plenty.
And Daddy said that if all kids had been like John Henry, there wouldn't be very many little kids in this world. Oh, my name is Ida Sue, Miss Battles.
My whole name's John Henry. Most folks just call me Henry.
Well, who do we have here?
I'm Lester Wright.
I'm Hester Wright. Hester and Lester, you must be twins.
Yes, we are.
My name is Mattie. How many more in your family, Mattie?
That's Daddy. Mom died when Daddy was 5. Mattie's been like a mama to us, Miss Battles.
You're to taste your chicken and dumplings, too.
Well, her chocolate cake is, something good.
Mm-hmm.
Mattie's smarter than any of us, Miss Battles.
Don't forget us, Miss Battles. Don't forget us.
Mary Belle, just give her time.
Well, what is your name?
I'm Mary Belle Littral.
And I'm Clara May Littral. We don't have no more brothers and sisters at home.
And Mattie, Katie Ann over there, she's right. Mattie is the smartest one. She makes the best grades. But next to her, we do.
What did you say?
Yeah, what'd you say, Mary Belle?
Well, what she meant to say was that, we do about as good as the rest of them, but, John Henry did say if we don't quit tooting their own horn, that they're not going to like us anymore.
That's true. They did tell us that. But we're doing better, aren't we, Mattie?
Yeah,
Just saying
Mattie.
we were. Yeah.
By now, Miss Battles knows her work will be more than she bargained for. She just knows it for a fact. She begins her lecture. You will learn to mind your manners. You will learn to read as good as a preacher. You will learn to spell like a teacher. You will learn arithmetic like you own a bank. You will learn to write so everybody can read it. You will have clean bodies, clean ears, clean hair. Your hair will be combed. I will check your fingernails each morning and clean out your toenails. You will wear clean clothes, and you will always carry something to blow your nose with. When I'm finished with you, you will know how to behave. You will be proud of yourself, and I will be proud of you.
Is this understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Sit down.
Okay.
I I'm telling you, by the time Miss Battles got through with her "you wills," nearly everybody in there had a headache. Of course, I think she might have had one too.
Do we have any children missing?
Yes, ma'am, at Green's Chapel bunch.
Where are they?
Well, they had a big meeting last week, and it rained all day yesterday, so they're having their baptism this morning. I guess all of them's down at the creek.
Well, then you want to go?
Well, yes, ma'am, but Mom and Daddy said that if nobody show up, that you might just leave.
Yeah, but Henry Putman didn't want to go.
Well, why'd you have to go and say that, Ford? You know we don't like that brung up.
Why, Henry, you look like you want to miss school.
I didn't want to come to school, and I didn't want to go no baptizing either.
Well, tell her why, Henry.
I'll tell her. We had us a big meeting, and a bunch of us were baptized, and the preacher pretty near drowned old Henry. While we all thought we was going to his funeral.
Why, when he went down that water, he got hung under the biggest tree limb. And every time he tried to put him off, he'd go under again.
Took all of us. Boy,
They need to get water out pretty near 30 minutes.
They won't even go swimming with us at Blue Water now.
that's cause I think that preacher's gonna be down there. He'll try to baptize me again. It's like the first time didn't take or something. Every time I shake hands with him, he just grins. It's like he knows something I don't. I'm scared to death that man.
Well, Miss Battle starts to talking again. She just knew for a fact that Brother Sawyer wouldn't try to baptize Henry again, unless, of course, Henry would want him to. She used to go to school with Brother Sawyer in Arkansas. They went to the Nazerene church together. She'd already met Brother Taylor from Green's Chapel, because he'd come by with Brother Sawyer. He seemed like a wonderful man, and she knew she loved the people there, but she was aiming to go to Mary's Chapel to church, because she'd known Brother Sawyer for a long time. And well, she just went on and on and on.
Now, headaches in that school was getting worse and worse. They tried every which way to get her to go to Green's Chapel to church. And old Sally Ann said,
The folks there is a mighty fine bunch of people.
And Hester said,
Their church is a lot prettier than Mary's Chapel.
and Oscar said,
They can sing circles around us.
and Henry said,
Everybody knows for a fact that their preacher can out-preach our preacher any day.
but you know, that didn't matter a bit to Miss Battles. She was aiming to go to church to Mary's Chapel. Why, she'd already talked to Brother Sawyer, and she would be their new Sunday school teacher, too. Good gracious, everybody thought. They'd see her every day except Saturday. You know, that Green's Chapel bunch didn't come, and so she did one good thing that day. Everybody that was there today could stay home tomorrow. That way she could get better acquainted with the Green's Chapel bunch.
well, she met with the Green's Chapel bunch, and they fared about as well as Mary's Chapel's bunch. Seemed like there was just no getting away from Miss Mary Battles. On the days they went to school, she was there, just pushing them to learn. And she punished them when they needed it, and that was a plenty. One of the worst punishments could have been when Miss Battles had to have some help with her teaching. When she'd be busy at her desk, some of the pupils would help her out. Everybody, and I mean everybody, always wanted to stay home when Clara May and Mary Belle got up to be the teacher's helpers. They just loved to boss everybody around.
All right. Now, Miss Battle said that we ought to be able to do our spelling real good today. So when we tell you to stand up and spell we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Stand up and do it again. Mississippi. Capital M-I-double-S-I-S-I-double-P-I. Wrong. Lay down. You didn't do it right.
We did that real good. We did it real good. Oh,
Okay.
Capital M-I, crooked letter I, crooked letter I, hope that I.
She gonna do with those kids? She'd already told them from the first she'd love to call them children, but since they didn't act right most of the time, she'd just call them kids, since that was another name for a young goat.
The boys had put toad frogs in her desk drawer at the schoolhouse and hide all her Sunday school stuff at the church house, not counting tying all her clothes together on the clothesline. That didn't matter none, though.
She'd find out who'd done the mischief most of the time without the tattletale's help.
Then she'd tell the preacher, and the preacher'd tell the daddies, and they would tell the mamas, and they'd all decide what punishment to use this time.
And you know what? That preacher would just grin. Seemed like since Miss Battles had come to the community, he grinned about everything.
Now, even though the kids acted up a whole lot when they shouldn't, Miss Battles really did care about every one of them. They had been learning better in school. Every last one of them could say the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States flag.
Of course, most of them didn't know what the words meant, but they said it anyway.
When Friday would come and go, there'd be a big sigh of relief from the kids and Miss Battles. The kids would head out the door lickety-split.
Saturday was a treat for all concerned.
By this time, the kids already knew that the preacher and the teacher was a courting. All their daddies and mamas thought that was fact.
Every time Miss Battles and the preacher would go somewhere together, somehow the kids would learn about it. Then they'd make sure they told everybody else.
Now, if Miss Battles had known about that, she'd have had a fit. She didn't like the kids nosing into things that was none of their business.
Pretty soon, Saturday and Saturday night would be gone.
Come Sunday morning, the kids would come back to the church house. Of course, now, they didn't always behave there either. One day, Miss Battles told the preachers the boys had acted up too much while he was preaching. Well, he told the daddies, and the daddies told the mamas, and the boys ended up on the front seat in Sunday school and during preaching.
And guess what? That preacher just grinned. And Miss Battles would be there just to push them to learn more about the Bible.
Every Sunday morning in Sunday school class, they'd have to sing a song. Now, the boys didn't like it, though, but Miss Battles by then had the preacher leading the song. and they didn't want Daddy and Mama finding out they didn't do what they was told. So they'd stand up there and grin just like the preacher. Seemed like that preacher sure did like "Shall We Gather at the River" a whole lot. Now that made poor old Henry nervous, because he'd think he's about to be baptized again.
Shall we gather at the river, where bright angels' feet have trod, when this crystal tide forever, flowing from the throne of God. Yes, we'll gather at the river, the beautiful river. Gather with the saints at the river that flows by the throne of God.
Miss Battles, we've been studying the Bible more and more.
Well, that's what I like to hear. Miss Battles, George Albert, he found him a stray dog. He named it Moreover.
What does that have to do with the lesson?
I got it out of the Bible.
You named your dog Moreover? I didn't know there was a dog named Moreover. In the Bible or anywhere else.
But it is. In St. Luke chapter 16, it's about a beggar named Lazarus who had sores all over him. And moreover, the dogs came and licked him.
I'm glad you studied the Bible more. But I believe that verse also the dogs licked his sores.
Looks like it would have just said that, but I believe I'll leave my dog's name the same because I like moreover a lot better than I do also.
Every Sunday morning, when preaching was over and the last amen was said, they'd head out that door just to get it.
Time went on. By now, Miss Battles had done took over being the women's missionary president. And one day she got an important letter from her brother in Mexico. He was a missionary there. He and his family were coming to Mary's Chapel and spend a week with her. She told the kids his wife was coming with him, but she told the preacher and the mamas and the daddies some more stuff, and they all just grinned from ear to ear. They'd just whisper around each other, and when the kids asked questions, they must have been told 1,000 times. Kids should be seen and not heard.
And finally, the day come when Miss Battles told all of them, and she meant all of them, to meet her at the church house. That all better be clean, and the boys had better have their hair slicked down, and they had better be on their best behavior. The missionary and his wife would be there.
She did add one more thing. Some MKs would be with the missionaries, and they could just figure out on their own what MKs meant, since most of them thought they knew everything. Well, everybody was so aggravated about having to quit what they was doing just to do what Miss Battles wanted them to do, even the girls. This was the first day in a long time they'd got to team up and have a ball game.
The kids had took to singing a song a few months back. It was really making fun of the preacher and Miss Mary Battles, because by this time they was courting big time. The song sounded something like this.
Mary had a little lamb, Mary had a little lamb,
kids, the boys did have their hair all slicked down, and Katie Ann had her hair tied back with a ribbon too. I reckon everybody looked as good as they knew how. Bless their hearts.
Reckon what MK is.
Don't know and don't care.
You might as well quit thinking about the ball game, Henry. We're here and that's that.
That's aggravating, this woman. She can make a preacher say a bad word.
Not our preacher. All he does is grin when that Miss Battle is around.
That kindly makes you sick to your stomach, don't it?
If I know one way to wipe a grin off at the preacher's face, and that's let him marry Miss Battle.
I do wonder what MK is.
Reckon it's something to eat. Hope so. Got my curiosity up.
I think it's an initial for something.
Well, you didn't know, Mattie, because you're smarter than most of us anyway.
I got it. What? Milk cow.
No, it ain't, George Albert. Cow starts with a C, not a K.
Oh.
Money cake.
That don't make no sense.
Yes.
I got it. Monkeys, Kimbos.
That's it. Well, reckon it's a it?
Might be a sheep.
Could be a hen.